We've all watched porn at some point in our lives. I personally did. So did my girlfriend and everyone I know. Porn sites get almost 12 views per person on this planet every year. That's a lot of views. Although those 5 seconds of pleasure feels good and we need it, it doesn't really come for free. There are people in the background that keep the industry running. Among these, there are those whose lives are ruined and those who live in complete pain and shame. I refer to those as the porn people. Those porn people are controlled by an even bigger porn people, infamously known as the management, the 1% of the 1%. The management will do anything to keep their life private in their yachts, jets, mansions, and unbelievably expensive lifestyle. But there is this one particular man, a shadowy personage that owns everything. He is of course an owner of a porn company, or more accurately, the porn company. He's so isolated that there is only one photo of him circulating the internet, and almost no interview of him anywhere online. And that's the man we're gonna talk about in this video. More on him later. Before we can start, I'm a single person who does every task required to make these videos possible, from research to writing scripts, recording, editing, and even VFX. So it will mean the world to me if you can do a thing as easy as clicking the subscribe button and liking this video. Thank you. Now, let's know the man who rules the porn industry. This is Coca, and this is Shortary. The story begins in 2004, when a group of 4 friends from Montreal, Canada, made a clique of their own and named it Brothers. The names are as followed: Matt Kiza, Steven Manos, Firas Antoun, and Wissam Youssef. Unfortunately, I can't display some of their portraits. Some of them prefer to remain hidden, and they will make sure to keep it that way. The team was having fun building websites of different niches until they settled on adult niche because they figured this is the most profitable. So they created 2 segments of tube sites: premium sites, which requires users to pay in order to watch the content, also known as pay-to-play, and free tube site, which was monetized by banner ads and advertisements. The free sites went wild, going famous and generating a huge traffic in a very short period of time, regardless of being full of unlicensed content. When the old companies complained that the new tube sites used their content without a valid license, the tubes claimed that the safe harbor provision of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA, absolved them of responsibility for user-uploaded content, which is nonsense. The sites were full of free content since day one. There were no users to upload content. All of it was uploaded by design. And due to these repeated copyright claims and takedowns, the brothers made their own porn brand, Brothers, to film their own content, basically becoming Hollywood-like producer and filmmakers. Brothers belonged to the first segment, pay-to-play. They hired adult actors from the TV era and paid them very low. The actors were not familiar with the concept of internet porn and always thought that TV channels and magazines are the main source of their livelihood, and that internet porn is just a trendy wave and soon to be gone. That was a mistake. In December 2007, the war against the tube sites began to dominate discussions in the online communities. GoFuckYourself.com was the main online industry forum. A user declared in a forum post, "Content thief will not steal our content and get away with it. Their days are counted." The user goes by the name Brother. His real name is Wissam Youssef, the co-founder of Brothers, mainly named after the name they gave to their clique, Brothers. He indirectly claimed that he was the victim and not the thief. In that same year, Youssef has launched a tube site of his own. In January 2007, Maskize, another one of the Brothers' founders, had purchased a domain name for $2,750 from a speculator he met at the Playboy Mansion. The domain name is Pornhub.com, making the launch of the site in the early 2007. Wissam and his 3 friends became rich, so rich, and that's because Brothers was big, maybe the biggest adult filming studio in the world. The brothers were playing their cards in secrecy and founded a company called Mansef, and put everything they own underneath it, including Brothers and Pornhub and YouPorn. This shadowy business and the way they were managing Mansef was the caterpillars of their downfall. By that time, the company was crushing down internally. Maskiza had left the company, paving the way for his brother Phil to become the new CEO, just to live within a few months. Almost all of the 5 friends became scared for their own safety and hired bodyguards that patrolled their habitat 24 hours a day in SUVs with tinted windows. By October 2009, The US Secret Service organized a fraud task force in Atlanta to seize about $6.4 million in fundings from two Fidelity bank accounts owned by Mansef, the brothers' parent company. Mansef, in response to that seizure, claimed that he had opened the Fidelity account simply to ease payments processing in the US. But the Fed stated that more than $9 million had been wired to two accounts over a 3-month period to Israel and other countries under a shadowy fraud watch lists. The company started facing major scandals over and over again, so the founder decided that it's time to sell the company and all of its assets. And indeed, they did in 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to our second player, Fabian Thielmann, the man who bought it. Let's go back to 2004 again, when a man called Fabian Thielmann, a German software engineer, created a software called Next Generation Affiliate Tracking Software, also known as NATS, which allowed websites to track users' clicks on the ad banners so that they could be paid in commission. Fabian wanted its service to be used on websites with huge traffic, since it is the most challenging to him. Of course, the primitive porn sites at that time were among the biggest traffic-wise. The software he created opened the gate for the amateur porn creators to make more and more videos of their own and upload them to the tube sites and generate revenues. Revenues made easy with Fabian's software. The success of this technology encourages Thielmann to start his own business in the adult industry. In 2006, Fabian secured a license for the erotic Playboy label, which allowed him to control all of his television and online productions. Later on, he acquired My Dirty Hobby, webcams, and Xtube. At this point, the platform he owns generates more than 60 million views per day. The revenues comes from the pay-to-play pornography sites advertised and from the premium registered users. In 2010, his business became so big that he had to make a holding company to rule everything, so he founded Manwin. The start of that company was a struggle. It did not have enough funding to grow Manwin. Most of the banks and investors he set for turns down his offer since he was in the adult industry, until the investment firm JP Morgan Chase approved to give him a loan alongside some other investors. Fabian successfully secured $360 million in fundings, allowing the journey of Fabian and free porn to begin. He started expanding like a maniac by acquiring as many existing brands and businesses as possible, rather than building them from scratch. This was possible because other companies were selling for rather cheap prices. Later, he traveled to Montreal, Canada, and acquired what would later become the biggest porn site in the world. In the late 2010, Fabian Thielmann bought Brothers, Pornhub, and other entities from Mansef that is owned by Wissam Youssef and his partners, making him literally the owner of internet porn. By 2012, 80% of people looking for online porn would land on one of Thielmann's sites. With Manwin, Thielmann owned almost everything adult on the internet. To some reports, it was estimated that Manwin's website received more than 16 billion visitors each month. I will say it again, 16 billion visitors every single month. That's more than double the population of planet Earth. At its peak, Manwin was a tycoon in the adult entertainment industry, operating with offices in 5 countries, employing well over 1,000 people. Fabian started the journey with the sole goal of earning cash, a lot of it. Our aim is banal. We create as many opportunities for people to spend money as possible. And now that he did, he wanted to make more cash, so by October 2013, he sold his stake to the senior management of the company for $73 million. Upon the sale of Manwin, now named MindGeek, Fabian wrote this letter to employees. It is with a sad heart that I have to announce that I have decided to sell Manwin to Manwin's top management team. Please believe me that this decision has been one of the hardest in our lives for both my wife and myself. Both myself and Manwin are at a stage where I can no longer add significant value to the best of my ability. I hope I have taught all of you and the management the right values to be able to continue the company in the best possible way, and I am looking forward to following its development. Fabian's legacy is now owned by the management. It's not a formal name, but an alias. None of the board of the company is known, but the internet and investigators believe that there is one single man that owns everything. His name is Bernrd Bergmair, also known as Bernrd Bergmair. And that is the man this video is about. Bernrd Bergmair, born in 1968 in Linz, Austria, is an Austrian businessman married to the Brazilian fashion blogger and model Prelude Bergmair. As most of the reports state, he is the one who bought the majority of the shares from Fabian, and there is as much information as anyone can get on him everywhere. MindGeek had long kept Bergmair's identity a closely held secret that only a handful of company executives and their advisors knew about. According to a paper published by the Financial Times, his name only appeared in 3 Google search results related to his past role as an executive at RedTube, a porn platform now owned by MindGeek. Moreover, his role at the porn conglomerate MindGeek became a public topic after the New York Times released a story claiming Pornhub makes revenue of child rape and revenge pornography. Serena Fleets is one of the many victims of Pornhub mismanagement of underage pornography content. She stated in her speech to the Parliamentary Committee in 2021 that a sex tape of her was uploaded to the platform without her consent. She reported the video for multiple occasions and even pretended to be her own mother, and for the video to be taken down with no outcome over a period of months whatsoever. The video she reported eventually got taken down but uploaded over and over again by various platform users. The company executives claimed in their defense that they did not have enough information about her to confirm her identity, even though the video clearly showed that it is of an underage girl. This scandal resulted in an ongoing wide-scale investigation by some Canadian politicians and other people in position of influence. Furthermore, it resulted in Visa and MasterCard cutting ties with MindGeek and Pornhub, prohibiting users from making purchases inside the platforms. Bernrd Bergmair is the management, the 1% of the 1%, as we mentioned in the beginning. He's so important and yet so absent that just the fact of finding him is a big step in the investigations. Campaigner have told us that finding him is in itself a big step toward holding MindGeek accountable. Some claim that he lives in Holland Park, London, but with no actual proof to support the claim. Others claim that he has a luxurious mansion in San Francisco, and again, there is no proof to back this claim either. The only images circulating the internet are the ones taken by Panos Pictures, which is the rights holder of Bernard's photos displayed in this video. The link to the full folder can be found in the description box. Overall, I will close this video with this quote: "In the internet era, porn is everywhere, but its owners are out of sight." Let me know in the comments below if there is anything you'd like to add about Bernrd Bergmair, and also let me know what you think about the porn industry as a whole. This is Koka from Shortary, and I will be coming with more and more videos, so please make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you in